children trapped under rubble, doctors in tears, a city under siege. Has the war in Gaza reached a horrifying new chapter? And is the world finally paying attention? In the early hours of the morning, the skies over northern Gaza lit up with fire. Israeli airstrikes have reportedly killed nearly 100 people, just a day after 120 more lives were lost in the south. The assault, described by survivors as coming from the ground, air and sea, has left communities reeling. But here's the question the world is now asking. Are we witnessing a military campaign, or something far more disturbing? The UN's top human rights official says this could be ethnic cleansing, scene setting, vivid emotional language. In the shattered streets of Beit Lahia and Jabalia, where buildings have already crumbled from nearly 19 months of war, today brought more devastation. Tanks rolled in. Missiles struck. A shelter for displaced families was hit. People who had fled the violence in the south had come here for safety, only to be bombed again. One desperate man cried out, "We went south, yes, they targeted us. We came to Gaza City. They targeted us there too. Where should we go? For God's sake, have mercy." Human impact. Personal stories. Inside a hospital turned morgue, the floor is lined with the injured and the dead. A child weeps, clutching the hand of his mother now lifeless. "Where are the negotiators while this happens to my mum?" He sobs. Dr. Salah, a local physician, lost 3 family members. 2 of them were just 8 and 10 years old. He couldn't even recover their bodies from the rubble. Everyone was crying. Everyone was shouting. But I went to my office and cried alone, he says quietly. Military claims versus humanitarian crisis. Israel says it's targeting terrorist infrastructure and that these operations are necessary after Hamas' October 7th attack and the continued captivity of 58 hostages. The Israeli government claims it never wanted this war and places the blame solely on Hamas. But what about the civilians caught in the crossfire? Residents say the city is emptying once again, but there's nowhere left to run. Some say they've lost the will to leave, or even to live. "We'll die wherever we go," they tell doctors. So why not die here? The international spotlight shifts. Meanwhile, cracks are forming in global support for Israel. For the first time, Donald Trump acknowledged that a lot of people in Gaza are starving, a significant shift in tone from one of Israel's closest allies. Trump vowed that the US will step in, even as he avoided visiting Israel during his Middle East tour. Could this signal a turning point in American policy? Eyewitness reports and international pressure. Aid agencies are sounding the alarm. Children are dying from hunger and disease. A UN-backed report warns the entire Gaza population, over 2 million people, is now at critical risk of famine. One British doctor working in Gaza sent this chilling message. It won't be long before we start seeing images that resemble the famines of Ethiopia in the 1980s. Israel, however, insists the crisis is being caused by Hamas stealing aid, not its own blockade. Is he all right? World leaders respond and clash. Spain's prime minister has now called Israel a genocidal state. France's president slammed the blockade as shameful. Israel hit back, accusing them of siding with terrorists. The UK's own PM said the situation is intolerable, urging for more aid access and the release of hostages. Even top US diplomats admit the suffering is heartbreaking, while still demanding that Hamas surrender. Closing, call to reflect and stay tuned. As the bombs fall and survivors dig through rubble, one thing is clear. Gaza's agony is no longer in the shadows. The world is watching, but watching is not the same as acting. So, What will world leaders do next? And how far is Israel prepared to go in this war? Stay tuned as we continue to follow this unfolding crisis. Like and subscribe to get the latest updates as they happen.